everybody, and welcome back to FOD Shorts. This is the podcast for the terrestrial radio program, Freedom on Deck, which is heard on 94.9 News Now and Stimulating Talk in Connecticut, Long Island, and Rhode Island. You want any information on us and our weekly terrestrial show? Go to freedomondeck.com or 949newsnow.com. Enough said about that. CV Burton, I'm Chet Martin. CV, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, glad to be here. Thank you.
Well, you know, I was going to do Cohen releasing the tapes to CNN,
Yeah.
but I think we're going to save that for our big show, okay? We're going to save that for the weekend on the terrestrial FM dial. And I'm kind of Cohened out after today. Everybody was talking about it. So let's talk about some other things that have occurred in the news cycle that have been put on the back burner because of this, really.
Okay, because you wanted to talk about Cohen, so I was all geared up to talk about Cohen. Then you
I
want to
know.
switch over to Toronto, and I don't know, and I got nothing. But go ahead.
You see, this is what bothers me, is that you have nothing, and it's not your fault. It's the media's fault.
Right.
And people really should know about this, because in Toronto, Canadian investigators are digging into the life of the 29-year-old man who opened fire on restaurants and cafes in a popular Toronto neighborhood, seeking to explain what prompted the rampage, I wonder, that killed a 10-year-old girl and a young woman and wounded 13 others.
Yeah.
All
right, that part I heard about, but go ahead.
Okay, this is from Ralph Godell. He is the public safety minister at this stage, based on the state of the investigations, which is led by the Toronto Police Service. There is no connection between the individual and national security. Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
But a law enforcement source told CBS News that Faisal Hassan visited Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, ISIS, websites, and may have expressed support for the terrorist group. They were looking into whether Hassan may have lived at one time in Afghanistan and possibly Pakistan. The source said there is no indication that Hassan was directed by ISIS to carry out the attack.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Here's what they found out. That's from CBS News. Digging in deeper and going into stuff from True Pundit. This guy traveled to Afghanistan twice after he was on a terrorist watch list in Canada and was able to go back and forth to Afghanistan, which I'm sure is where he trained with ISIS, right? We can only assume. What was he doing? Was he going there to sell Girl Scout cookies, CV?
No.
No, I don't think so. Was he going there to recruit some people for the army back in Canada? No, I don't think so. Was he going there to sell some used cars? No, I don't think so. He was probably going there to get trained on what he should do by ISIS, which is what most of these radical jihadists do.
Right.
So they put two and two together. They figure all this out. And at the same time, the Canadian Prime Minister and the government is sweeping this under the rug. They don't want you to know anything about this. As a matter of fact, when I was listening, this is what really ticked me off, bro. Yeah. When I was listening to CBS News in the morning, they said it was a white male.
They always say that about Arabs when they kill a lot of people.
They usually say Asian.
Oh yeah. They say that in Germany and in Europe they say Asian. Over here when they don't know for sure they say white.
So this guy goes out, he pulls off this murderous attack on the Canadians, and I know it's not here in the U.S., but we really have to worry about this because people can come here from Canada.
Oh, absolutely.
And the minister, this Turdo, which I like to call him Trudeau, but I call him Turdo, he has allowed citizens of Canada that have gone into Syria to fight for ISIS to come back into the country. That's insane. They should be charged for war crimes, and they should be brought to the gallows and hung.
Yeah. And this reminds me of our little inside joke. When your MAGA is so mega, you want a wall on the north border, too.
Yeah, that's right. This is a real worry for me because the way they're sweeping this story under the rug, it's a concern. And this is the third big terrorist attack in the last 2 years in Toronto. Remember that
Oh
van
yeah,
went through and mowed everybody down
yeah.
in Toronto, and then there was one in Ottawa, same thing.
You notice how
Uh,
after each and every one of these attacks, they just after maybe like a week or two, maybe like pretty much after 2 weeks, they stop talking about it as one. Like all the
yes,
media are in agreement. They all walk in lockstep. They're being given marching orders about everything. Like
of course they are.
everything they say is like parroting each other. And then when they shut up about something, they all shut up about something. When they start harping on something, they are all harp on something. You know,
And it really upsets me. A 10-year-old girl dies.
that's insane. That's so sad.
And it is sad. And what's going on in Canada is a a sweep in, and not unlike what we've seen in Germany, but it is what they're doing is they're putting the Islamic Canadian citizens way above the Christian citizens in Canada.
Yeah, because it's their depopulation theory. It's
Right, but
depopulate the. I hate using the words white and black, and it's more or less they want to depopulate the present middle class and replace them with an underclass of easily manipulated morons. Basically, let's be honest.
what I meant to say by my previous comments is that there are not so many refugees coming into Canada. There are some, but not as much as what's going on in Europe, of course. But there is a radical theology over there through Islam and through the Islamic churches that is very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
For example, they say where this guy went to study Islam
Mm-hmm.
was actually under investigation. This mosque. So how did they know this guy is looking at materials from ISIS? Goes to a mosque that's under investigation, flies back and forth to Afghanistan, and he's still able to pull off this terrorist attack. And then the libtards over there blame it on the gun.
Yeah, I don't know how many quote unquote refugees Canada's bringing in. I don't know the statistics, but all I do know is that they're bringing in a lot of Muslims.
Yes, they
Whether they
are.
call them refugees or they're there with a work visa or they're just applying it for citizenship or I don't know what. But they're flooding Muslims are flooding Canada just like they're flooding everywhere else.
And that Trudeau, he's very dangerous.
Yeah, he's a cross-dresser, by the way.
I know he's a cross-dresser. And do you remember when he went to the gay pride parade and he wore the flag rainbow socks with the Islamic quotes on them? Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember because I don't follow him.
That was creepy.
All I know is that his eyebrow fell off, and the only reason he'd be wearing an eyebrow is because he's hiding the fact that he shaved his eyebrows off. Now, why would he be shaving his eyebrows off? Because he dresses like a woman
Yeah, well, that could be true.
behind closed doors.
I think that what we need to do is have a little more stricter enforcement on that northern border because of this. That's all I'm saying. I do worry about our brothers in North America. It does
Oh, yeah.
worry me.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
They
want
are our
anyone to
brothers.
get killed.
They are
Yeah,
our brothers.
they are. They are. We play hockey just like them.
Well, they play a little better than us, but yeah.
Yeah, they play a little better than us. Listen, let's move on, and I'm
Okay.
not trying to laugh about a disturbing story like that, but here's something.
Okay.
President Donald J. Trump's Hollywood star is destroyed yet again. The vandalism happened in the morning hours of Wednesday,
Yeah.
so that's today, and a man reportedly is in custody. Trump's star on Hollywood Walk of Fame has been completely destroyed with a pickaxe.
Yeah.
The news reports the vandalism was reported early in the morning on Wednesday, and the suspect was later taken into custody. He was a 25-year-old man. We know why Trump received the star because he's a television star.
Because
before
because everything he does is a success.
That's right. And this guy just came in and he started to destroy the star with a pickaxe, man. This is crazy. And it's not the first time that the star was vandalized. You remember comedian George Lopez did his party to try to denigrate the Trump star. And that was something where actually people defecated and urinated on the star. And there's been damage done to the star before, but not like this. This time, it was completely ripped out
It
of the
was
ground.
demolished. Yeah, I saw them sweeping it up on the news
Yeah,
on Lou Dobbs today. But isn't it coincidental that I texted you a picture of that star, like
yeah,
just a couple of days ago? Because my son was there this past weekend, and he sent me a picture of the Donald Trump star because he's on the Trump train, and
right.
uh, and he showed me a picture, and I texted it to you guys, and then and then a couple of days later, it's got completely destroyed.
Well, here's the interesting thing, and I wanted to tell you this, and I'll share this with you too. You sent that to us because we had a brave Navy SEAL from Long Island
Right.
that had his memorial plaque, and I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. Forgive me for that,
Yeah.
but someone destroyed it. Right, it ended up being this 14-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Now, the parents were the ones that turned him in. You know why they turned him in, and they knew it was him? Because they saw his writings in his room, and the kid is involved with Antifa on Long Island.
Oh, see, we didn't know that at the time we did the show.
No, we didn't. So now we know
Yeah.
he is involved. He's got Antifa rhetoric. So it does tell you that there is this degenerate population that is part of the left that hates our military.
Yeah.
You know, why would you destroy a hero that served in Afghanistan? Why would you destroy their plaque, other than the fact that you hate America and what it represents?
It's so disgusting what has become of our youth today. Not all of them, but millennials are swinging to the right more and more. But our school system is totally taken over by the left. It's unbelievable.
That's why they're doing, and to see this. I'll say he's a kid. The person that destroyed this star was 25. To me, he's a kid.
Yeah.
And they have been, our kids' brains have been warped in such a way that now it's like, if you don't like something, take it down. If you don't like a Civil War monument, take it down.
Yeah.
If you don't like a monument that stands up for one of our veterans, take it down.
Yeah.
If you don't like a star that represents our president, destroy it.
Yeah.
It's anything that you don't like, you get to destroy it. You know what? It's not like I can walk out on the street and see a Hillary sticker on a car and start bashing it with a baseball bat. Do I want to? Maybe. Mm-hmm. Now, if somebody saw a Trump sticker on my car, would they do it? Possibly, because they have been infiltrated in such a way where that's acceptable.
Yeah.
And it's acceptable to also accost the people themselves.
Well, one of the things they omit in our educational system is the concept of human rights, or our constitutional rights. They don't impress upon our children the value of our freedoms and our rights. You don't infringe on other people's rights. So they come out of school thinking that they have the right to do anything they want, and if anybody gets in their way, they'll knock them down. If they have raise a flag they don't like, they'll burn it. If they have a plaque, they'll break it. If there's a Trump sticker on the back of your car, key the car.
CV, the gentleman that I call into every morning, Lee Elsey, his show that's on the same station that we do our program on.
Yes, I listen once in a while when I'm up that early.
Yeah. One day he said, be careful. He said, keep pushing us. Keep pushing us. He said, eventually the blowback is going to hit you in a way that you could never understand. He said, you keep pushing, and one day when it hits the fan, you're going to regret it. And he's right.
Well, yeah.
Because you know what? We do have the guns. We do have the gumption, and we do have the pride. And they're going to learn that their little bitchy tactics do not work.
Well, there are factions on our side that are actually looking for a confrontation. Like there was a Maxine Waters something rally going on, and the oath keepers.
Oath keepers.
We're
Who
supposed to show
part
up.
Of. Our co-host Brian is a part of.
Yeah, they were supposed to show up, and they conferred with the police, and the police said, well, we're not going to do anything. We're told to stand down. So if you want to go ahead, let me just tell you that they're bringing lead pipes, and they're ready to go. So just know that we're not going to be there to help you. So go ahead. You can't bring guns, but they're bringing weapons, and we're not going to do anything about it. So the Oath Keepers didn't show up. So
they didn't show up,
right?
But the Antifa members still made sure that they burnt an American flag and basically chanted these total anti-American propagandist chants and put our country down as usual and destroy property as they always do.
And let me ask you, Chet, as a Trump supporter, doesn't it make you feel like putting on a Magha hat and going out and flaunting it? And just kind of like almost tempting somebody to do something to you so you can punch them right in the face.
You know, we were talking about that. It's funny that you bring this up.
Because I do.
But yeah, it happened when the little kid, the 16-year-old, was in the restaurant. He got the drink thrown on him.
Yeah.
And I called Lee Elsey, and Lee said, you know what, I'm going to go into New London. He's like, I have a ton of MAGA hats, so I think I'm going to – and he's a big boy. He's a big boy.
I know.
And he's like, I guarantee there won't be any. And I said, maybe we all should, and film it and see who comes up to us. See if we get any conflict, and guaranteed it won't happen. There'll be zero.
Yeah.
But, that's sad because you know what it is, CV? These communist, degenerate Marxists will only pick on the weakest link. If they see somebody that they say, you know what, I'm not going to mess with this person, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
If you're wearing a MAGA hat, you're 300 pounds and you're built like a shit brick house, they're not going to come up to you.
No.
They're bullies.
No,
they're bullies. They'll come up to the 16-year-old kid.
But we sure would like them to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, listen, let's get into the last topic because we're running down on time.
Okay.
Trevor Noah. Do you like Trevor Noah? Daily? Do you like Daily Show? No, I don't.
No, I had to look him up. I wasn't familiar with him, but I saw what he said. He said that Africa won the World Cup because there were a lot of darker-toned people, Frenchmen, in that French team. I don't even know what they're called.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, in the World Cup, there's different shades on every team. But the thing is, he's an avid anti-Trump dingbat that's featured on Comedy Central that took over for Jon Stewart. But what they did was in 2013, they dug up this stand-up comedy routine, which he had. It was conveniently rediscovered before he starts a tour in Australia. And Noah implied that Aborigine women are all unattractive, according to the Daily Mail.
Oh, the one I saw was a recent comment. Okay.
No. Well, anyway, he said all women of every race can be beautiful. Noah says in the setup.
Yeah. Oh,
Trevor, yeah, but you've never seen a beautiful Aborigine. Yeah, but you know what you say yet. That's what you say yet. I don't even know. That doesn't even make any sense because you haven't seen all of them, right? Plus, it's not always about looks. Maybe Aborigine women do special things. Maybe they just like to jump on top of you, Noah said. Then he foreigned oral sex while making the sound of a didgeridoo, the Aborigine wind instrument.
Yes.
So here he is, this guy that's been screaming and jumping up and down about how Donald Trump is this complete racist. And lo and behold, in 2013, this prick, Noah, put out this comedy routine that berated the Aborigine people to make a sex act while playing the didgeridoo.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me that's not complete hypocrisy, CV.
Well, first of all, they call people what they are, or they accuse people of doing what they're doing. Like the Russia collusion. They were the ones, the DNC and Hillary and the left were the ones colluding with Russia to come up with that fake dossier thing. But this whole racist thing, it's like, who is it inciting? It's inciting racism. Because the Republicans don't go around saying, you're a racist, he's a racist, Wouldn't you like to be a racist too? And
Right.
but the Democrats do that because they have nothing, because they can't really tell you what they really want to do, which is communism. So they keep that under the rug, and they just want to tear down everybody else and just call them racist all the time. And they're the ones that are making their definition of racism is that a black person or a minority can't be a racist. The only people that could be racist are white people.
White people.
That's
it.
their definition. So
a black person is allowed to say anti-Semitic things, which explains, Maxine Waters and Obama meeting with Farrakhan. They know he's anti-Semitic. It's not a secret. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not fake news. That's real news. Louis Farrakhan is anti-Semitic. Al Sharpton, anti-Semitic.
Right. And that's what. And Nazis were anti-Semitic. But my point is that who does that enrage? Who does that anger? It angers the minorities. Against whom? Against whites. So they're actually inciting racism.
Well, because when it's, and I hate to say it this way, when it's a black Democrat making these horrible comments, the left will gloss over it because you can't say anything bad about a black Democrat. Because if you do, you're a racist yourself. They can go. I remember when Jesse Jackson was talking about Chinatown, and he called them zipperheads.
Oh yeah, and yeah, he called it Hymietown
and Hymietown for the Orthodox area in Brooklyn.
Yep.
This is how they operate, but you can't say anything about it because if you do, you're the racist for calling them racist. It's the ultimate, like, I am not winning this argument, so I'm just going to call you a racist, and that's all I'm going to do. I can't do anything else.
Yeah.
And that's what they do.
And unfortunately, I have to keep going into this speech because if somebody stumbles across this, all they're gonna hear us talking about is white, black, racist, whatever. But I just want to say that the Republican Party or conservatives or patriots, whatever you want to call them, we welcome everybody of every stripe, and we feel like you're our brother if you have the same values or you respect the same things we respect, and you honor the same things we honor, like God, country, and family. Well, and then if you do that, I don't care what shade of color you are, you're my brother, man.
Totally my brother.
Yep.
And if your values are on the same page as mine, I could care less about your skin tone.
And it's sad that I have to say that because it should be obvious.
Well, because the Democrats will be like, yeah, if they say everything you want them to say. Well, I mean, that's the same, but as if that's any different in their party.
Yeah.
Like if a black is a Republican, they treat them with any respect.
I don't disrespect people who are on the other side of the aisle like they do to us. I was cut off on the road because I had an anti-Obama sticker, and my car rolled over twice, and I was knocked out, and they had to get the jaws of life and get me out and take me to a hospital because I had an Obama sticker. It said, "Impeach Barack Hussein Obama," and this was in July of 2009. So I was already saying,
God bless you.
I was already saying impeach him because they were saying impeach Bush the whole time. So I said, all right, now it's my turn. So I wanted to give a little back, and they almost killed me.
Well, Mike Savage was saying impeach Obama before he got in office. so
he beat me to it. God damn him.
He beat you to it.
God damn, Michael Savage always got a foot ahead of me.
You're far from sour grape, Savage. Most people listening don't know what we're talking about, but it's an inside joke. It's a great call-in. It's a classic of Michael Savage.
Yeah.
But listen, let's wrap it up. We're going to be coming back with you guys this week, of course, on Sunday. Listen to us from 3 to 5 on 949newsnow.com, or you can listen to it on TuneIn Radio, and that's 3 to 5 Eastern Time. And if you miss the show on Sunday, you can always come to FreedomOnDeck.com and listen to it there. That's the easiest way to do it. We don't have to give you all the other stuff. But like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to BitChute, which is a big thing for us, and subscribe to our YouTube, because this week we have Claire Lopez coming on. Claire Lopez is a great, great woman. She is from Stop Islamization of America, and she's also from Jihad Watch. So that should be a good interview. And we also have Julio Rivera coming by. And another interesting thing is that we're now featured on the reactionarytimes.com, which is owned by Julio Rivera, and it's in conjunction with Newsmax. And they're redoing the whole thing. We're going to talk about that CV, and we're going to be talking about these Michael Cohen recordings with Julio. So that should be pretty good stuff.
Okay.
All right, my man. Sounded like another good podcast for us, and I'll be talking to you on Sunday.
All right. God bless America. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Make America great again.